Life in Green Valley Village. Emma was a 12-year-old girl who had lived in a busy city all her life. She loved the tall buildings, bright lights, and noise of cars. But one day, her parents decided to move to a small village called Green Valley. Her father got a new job as a teacher at the village school, and her mother wanted to start a small bakery. When Emma first heard the news, she was not happy. "A village?" she asked. "But there is nothing there. No shopping malls, no cinemas, no playgrounds." Her mother smiled softly. "You will see, Emma. Village life is different, but it is beautiful in its own way." After a long drive, they finally arrived at Green Valley. The road was narrow and full of green trees on both sides. Birds were singing, and cows were walking slowly along the path. Emma looked out of the car window and saw small wooden houses, flower gardens, and people waving at them. Everyone seemed friendly. Their new house was simple but cozy. It had a red roof, white walls, and a big garden behind it. Emma's room had a window that opened to the fields. She could see sheep and a farmer working with his tractor. That evening, their neighbor, Mrs. Brown, came to visit. She brought a basket of fresh eggs and vegetables. "Welcome to Green Valley," she said kindly. "If you need anything, just call me." Emma smiled politely, but inside she still missed the city. The next morning, Emma woke up early because of the sound of a rooster. She went outside and felt the cool morning air. The sky was pink and orange. She saw Mrs. Brown feeding chickens and decided to go say hello. "Would you like to help?" Mrs. Brown asked. Emma nodded shyly. She took some corn and threw it to the chickens. They ran quickly to eat it, and she laughed for the first time since coming to the village. Later that day she met Tom, a boy who lived nearby. He was about her age and had a friendly smile. "Hi, I'm Tom," he said. "Do you want to see the river?" Emma followed him through the fields until they reached the small, clear river. The water was shining under the sun, and there were frogs jumping near the stones. "It's so quiet here," Emma said softly. Tom nodded. "Yes, but it's never boring. There's always something to do. Fishing, helping on the farm, or just watching the sunset." That night, Emma wrote in her diary, "Today I helped feed chickens and saw a beautiful river. Maybe village life isn't so bad after all." She looked out of her window once more before sleeping. The stars were bright, and the sound of crickets filled the air. For the first time, she felt calm. Maybe this new beginning would bring her something special. The next morning, Emma woke up early again. The sound of birds and the smell of fresh air filled her room. She looked out the window and saw Mrs. Brown walking with a basket of milk bottles. Everything looked peaceful and new. Today was Emma's first day at her new school. She felt a little nervous. Her old school in the city was big, with hundreds of students and tall buildings. But when her father took her to the village school, she was surprised. The school was small and made of red bricks. It had only 5 classrooms and a big garden with apple trees. Children were playing outside, and a dog was sleeping under the bench. Everyone looked happy. When Emma walked in, all the students looked at her. Some smiled, others whispered quietly. "Good morning, everyone," said Mr. Johnson, the teacher. He was a kind man with grey hair and glasses. "This is Emma. She just moved here from the city. Let's make her feel welcome." The class clapped their hands and said hello. Emma felt shy but smiled back. She sat next to a girl named Lucy. Lucy had short brown hair and wore a red ribbon. "Hi, Emma. I love your backpack," Lucy said. "Thanks," Emma answered. "I'm happy to sit next to you." The lessons were different from the city school. There were fewer students and everyone helped each other. Mr. Johnson taught them about farming, animals, and nature. Emma was surprised that students sometimes went outside to learn. "Let's go see the vegetable garden," said Mr. Johnson. "We will learn how plants grow." They all went out and looked at the garden behind the school. There were carrots, tomatoes, and lettuce. The teacher showed them how to water the plants and check the soil. Emma enjoyed touching the earth with her hands. It felt soft and warm. During lunch break, the students sat under a big tree. Everyone brought homemade food. Lucy shared her cheese sandwich with Emma. "What did you eat in your city school?" Lucy asked. "Mostly cafeteria food," Emma said. "Pizza or fries?" Lucy laughed. "We don't have that here. My mom cooks everything at home." Then Tom came running. "Emma, come play football with us." Emma hesitated. "I'm not very good at football." "That's okay," Tom said. "We just play for fun." She joined the game, and soon she was laughing and running like everyone else. The air was full of joy and shouting. When the bell rang, they were all tired but happy. In the afternoon, the teacher gave them a drawing task. "Draw something that you love about our village," he said. Emma thought for a while. Then she drew the river she had seen with Tom. She colored the blue water, the green trees, and the sunshine. When she finished, Mr. Johnson looked at her picture. "This is wonderful, Emma," he said kindly. "You have a good eye for nature." After school, Emma and Lucy walked home together. They talked about animals, flowers, and weekend plans. Lucy invited her to visit the village farm on Saturday. "My uncle has cows and horses," Lucy said. "You can help us milk the cows." Emma laughed. "That sounds exciting. I've never done that before." When Emma reached home, her mother was baking bread. The smell filled the house. "How was school?" her mother asked. "It was different but nice," Emma said. "I made new friends, and we learned about plants. I think I like it here." Her father smiled. "That's good to hear. You're becoming a real village girl." Emma giggled. "Maybe I am." That night, she sat by the window again and watched the stars. She thought about her day, the friendly faces, the garden, and the simple happiness of learning in nature. She realized something important. Life in Green Valley was not just slow. It was full of meaning. She wrote in her diary again, "Today I made friends. I played football and learned about plants. The village school is small, but it feels warm and full of life." Emma closed her diary and smiled. She no longer missed the city lights. The stars above Green Valley were brighter, and her heart felt lighter. Saturday morning came with sunshine and birds singing in the trees. Emma woke up early and felt excited. Today, she was going to visit Lucy's uncle's farm. It was her first time visiting a real farm, and she could not wait to see the animals. Her mother packed some cookies and a bottle of water for her. "Be polite and help if you can," her mother said. "I will, Mom," Emma replied with a smile. Lucy met her at the gate. She was holding a basket with apples. "Good morning, Emma. Are you ready?" "Yes. Let's go." The two girls walked along a small dirt road. The air smelled of grass and flowers. They could hear cows mooing in the distance. Soon, they reached the farm. It was big, with a red barn, green fields, and a small pond with ducks swimming in it. Lucy's uncle, Mr. Parker, was waiting for them. He was a tall man with a big hat and a kind smile. "Welcome, girls," he said. "Do you want to meet the animals?" "Yes, please," Emma said excitedly. First, they went to the cowshed. There were 5 big cows standing quietly and chewing hay. "This one's Daisy," said Mr. Parker. pointing to a brown cow. She gives the most milk. Emma touched Daisy gently. The cow's skin was warm, and she made a soft sound. Would you like to try milking her? Mr. Parker asked. Emma looked surprised. Can I? Of course. Sit here and hold the bucket. Lucy showed her how to do it. At first, Emma was nervous, but then she tried, and milk started to fall into the bucket. You did it! Lucy laughed. Emma smiled proudly. I can't believe it. I milked a cow. After that, they went to see the chickens. There were many of them walking and clucking around. Don't scare them, Lucy said. We can collect the eggs. Emma carefully picked up 2 warm eggs and placed them in a basket. They're so fresh, she said. Next, they walked to the field where some workers were planting vegetables. Emma saw rows of carrots, potatoes, and corn. Do you grow all of these by hand? She asked. Yes, said Mr. Parker. It's hard work, but it's worth it. Fresh food tastes better than anything from the city. Emma helped them water the plants. The sun was hot, but she enjoyed working outside. She could feel the earth under her shoes and smell the sweet scent of the soil. Later, they sat under a big oak tree for lunch. Mr. Parker's wife, Mrs. Parker, brought fresh bread, cheese, and fruit. Thank you for helping today, she said kindly. Would you like some apple juice? Yes, please, Emma said. This is the best lunch I've ever had. They talked about animals, weather, and village festivals. Emma learned that there would be a big harvest festival next month, where everyone would bring food, sing songs, and dance. You should come, Lucy said. It's the best day in Green Valley. I'd love to, Emma answered happily. After lunch, they went to the pond. The ducks were swimming, and the water looked clear and cool. Lucy threw some breadcrumbs, and the ducks came closer. Emma laughed. They're so cute. When the sun started to set, the sky turned orange and purple. It was time to go home. Emma thanked Mr. and Mrs. Parker. Thank you for everything, she said. I had an amazing day. You're always welcome here, Emma, said Mr. Parker. Farms love helping hands. On the way back, Emma and Lucy talked about their favorite parts of the day. I liked feeding the chickens, Lucy said. I liked milking the cow, Emma replied. I never thought I could do that. When she reached home, her parents were waiting at the door. How was your day? Her father asked. It was wonderful, Emma said. I met so many animals and learned so much. Life here feels so full and real. Her mother smiled. I told you. Village life has its own beauty. That night, Emma looked at the stars again. They seemed even brighter than before. She wrote in her diary, Today I visited a farm. I saw cows, chickens, and ducks. I helped with the work and I felt proud. The people here are kind, and nature feels alive. I think Green Valley is becoming my true home. Emma closed her diary and whispered to herself, maybe I was meant to come here. A few weeks passed, and the weather started to change. The trees turned yellow and orange, and the air became cool and fresh. It was almost time for the Harvest Festival, the most important event in Green Valley. Everyone in the village was busy. Farmers were collecting their crops, families were cooking, and children were decorating the streets with colorful ribbons and flowers. Emma watched them from her window and felt excited. She had never been to a festival like this before. Can I help with something? She asked her mother. Of course, her mother said. You can help me bake bread and cookies for the festival. Emma smiled and started mixing flour and butter. The smell of fresh bread filled the house. Later, she went outside to help her father hang lights around their garden. The whole village looked like a fairy tale. There were lanterns, baskets of fruits, and small tables with homemade food. The next morning, the festival began. The village square was full of people wearing colorful clothes. Music played from a small stage where some boys were playing violins and guitars. The sound was cheerful and warm. Emma met Lucy and Tom near the fountain. "Wow, it's beautiful," Emma said. "I told you it's the best day of the year," Lucy said with a laugh. "Let's look around." They walked past the food stalls. There were pies, honey, cheese, and fresh fruit. Mrs. Brown was selling her famous strawberry jam, and Mr. Parker had brought milk and butter from his farm. "Try this," said Mrs. Brown, giving Emma a piece of bread with jam. "It's delicious," Emma said. "Everything here tastes so fresh." Later, the mayor of Green Valley stood on the stage and spoke into the microphone. "My dear friends," he said, "today we celebrate another year of good harvest and friendship. Our village is strong because of the love we share. Let's be thankful for nature and for each other." Everyone clapped and cheered. Then the music started again and people began to dance. Emma, Lucy, and Tom joined in. They held hands and moved in a circle, laughing and jumping. The sound of music mixed with the smell of food and flowers. After dancing, they watched a small competition where farmers showed their biggest pumpkins and apples. Mr. Parker won first place for his huge pumpkin. He waved at Emma and the others. Emma clapped and shouted, "Congratulations, Mr. Parker." As the sun began to set, the whole sky turned gold. Lanterns were lit, and children ran around with little lights in their hands. The village square looked magical. "Let's go to the river," Tom suggested. They walked together and sat by the riverbank. The reflection of the lights danced on the water. Fireflies glowed around them like tiny stars. "I'm happy we're friends," Lucy said. "Me too," Emma replied softly. "When I first came here, I didn't like the village. But now I can't imagine living anywhere else." Tom smiled. "That's what Green Valley does. It changes people's hearts." They stayed there for a long time, watching the water and listening to the music from far away. The night was calm and full of joy. When Emma returned home, her parents were waiting for her. "You look happy," her father said. "It was the best day ever," Emma said. "The festival was so beautiful. Everyone was together and it felt like one big family." Her mother hugged her. "I'm glad you feel that way. Green Valley is special because of its people, and now you're one of them." That night, before going to sleep, Emma opened her diary one last time. Today was the harvest festival. The village was full of music, lights, and smiles. I danced, laughed, and felt truly happy. I used to miss the city, but now I know that home is not about tall buildings or bright lights. Home is where your heart feels at peace. She put down her pen and looked out the window. The moon was shining over the quiet fields, and she could hear the soft sound of the river in the distance. Green Valley was no longer just a village to her. It was her home, her new world, full of love, nature, and friendship. And as she closed her eyes, she whispered, "Good night, Green Valley. Thank you for everything."